I didn't have much time in Kanpur, so I could only visit a couple of places and drive through many of them. But before leaving in the morning, I decided to come at this place, which is of a very historic significance. See, this place is generally not on the tourist map. It's a ghat, and this is the approach road to the ghat. And this road is literally named as Massacre Avenue. So, the first war of independence, and this road leads to the Sati Chaura Ghat, which is now known as Nana Rao Ghat. This was the place where a very sad incident took place. It is off the main road, and the road is it's a very prominently marked road, Tagore Road. So it is all there in the Kant area. The best part is that this road is open to public, so you can easily access it. Now, as you leave the main road, there's a huge arc, and then, okay, this looks like some private property. I'll have to check it out, but I don't have much time on hand, so I have to wait for my second trip now. This place is a stark reminder of the atrocities perpetrated upon us by the British stroke Europeans. It has to be understood in the context that East India Company, when it came into India, it came on the pretext of trading, but it started committing atrocities with the aim of making profits. So if it is a question of a company can always do anything legally possible, which is legal in their country, but might not be ethical. There's a small park over here. I could see a memorial from the far distance, so thought let me check it out. There are many places in Kanpur which require a lot of maintenance and repairs. So this is one such example. It all depends on the local government and the local authorities as to how much interest they take, and of course the local civil population. So let me see what this is. There's definitely has to be a memorial over here because of the events that have occurred during the First War of Independence. So सती चौरा छावनी परिषद द्वारा सन 1857 के भारतीय अमर शहीद के पुण्य स्मृति में. Okay, so it talks about 1857 and Maskar Ghat. That could be the original name of this ghat. So it's a very blank kind of memorial with no names and all, because if someone decides to write names, it will literally be like a huge mountain, because those were the number of people that were killed by the East India Company. Now, coming back to the point, like, everybody writes off this this period by saying that atrocities were committed on both sides. But I beg to differ. India is a place where outsiders are welcomed. You ask any tourist who comes to India, they have just one thing to say, that Indian people are very welcoming, they are peace-loving, and that's true. But the British are savage. They came here with the intention of creating profits. They committed unspeakable atrocities on the locals, all in the name of earning profits. They created laws, they tampered with religious sentiments. So it was not as if the British were totally gentle people and, gentlemanly in their conduct, but they were corrupt to the core, they were cruel, they were obnoxious, and as a result it was a chain reaction which took off, and people literally came up in revolt just because of this factor. Otherwise, if the British would have been good people and peace loving, I don't think they would have faced this kind of wrath from the local population. But My question goes even deeper. Okay, considering that Indians, when the British people came, they were savages and the British were trying to civilize us. What is this civil behavior? What is this civilization? Savages will behave like savages, but what about you? Are you also going to behave like a savage if it comes down to this? Anyways, so there's a beautiful temple over here. Let me see what the nameplate talks about. Okay, so this Rajeshwari Mandir, that's been established in 1946-47. That's okay. This looks like a newer construction, but there you go. Nana Rao Ghat, Nan Ghat, and that's the history. There you go. I will try to translate it and then to the best of my knowledge add on to some more historic significance. So ghats always have this traditional temples, very ancient temples, because ghat is also a place of worship. Let me try to identify the old locations and just try to compare it with the pictures. Okay, there's some construction work going on. It's all dusty over here. So there's one complex over here, and this is a newer construction over this side. And there you go. So this one small structure is that what is visible, you know, in those old photographs. I will try to compare this again with the latest imagery which I have from the internet. And besides this, there is no other structure on the ghat. So I presume that this is the one. So over there I can see some structure which I have to explore. It's there in the far distance along the tree line. And then over this side, so there could be some structure at that side, but then this is the view. Yeah, this is the view. Now I have to compare this view with the other view which is there. Now since those photographs are of 1857, so it's also interesting to see whether the structure is remained of that era or not. So that's the magnificent temple. This is the Sati Chaura. There's an interesting point about Sati Chaura Ghat. The name Sati Chaura Ghat. So Sati is a very ancient tradition in India, wherein the woman jumps into the burning fire of her husband. Now this pratha or this practice was supposedly banned by the British when they came to India. You know, it was not a regular practice. It was a hype. There could be one odd incidents. I don't deny it. It is a choice of the people, but it was never enforced upon the general population. Okay, because I'll give you a small example. There is a concept called as widows of Vrindavan. So these widows, they stay secluded from the general population, and they are kind of staying at one place as a community. So had the rule of burning of widows being there, so these widows wouldn't have stayed over there in the first place. So they have some strict regulations. They wear white clothes. They abstain from all worldly items, worldly pleasures. So even that is also a choice. But otherwise, nobody ever questions a widow who is staying alone, you know. So the assumption, but it was not exactly an assumption, it was just an excuse, number one, to declare the local people as savages, and number two, to show themselves as the one who are come here, you know, with a healing touch or a teaching intention of teaching or something like that, cock and bull story. So that's the reputation of the British who came here. They were absolutely brutal, ruthless. They were they insulted the local people. They tried to rule them, dominate them, and they came here as traders. They should have remained as traders, but they decided to enter into the internal politics of the country. More greediness.